good morning. As I sit here in isolation during this insane pandemic here in the UK. I've actually cut off from the news because I think that at the moment most of the news is negative and very anxiety invoking. My personal opinion is that this pandemic probably won't get better until June. And that's with optimistic thinking, but who knows, maybe it will improve mid-May before that. In any event, with Wrestlemania 36 around the corner in a very unorthodox form taking place from the WWE's Performance Centre, I've been quite intrigued to see what this would look like. And I actually think it's a very desperate but very unique idea. It's certainly going to be one of the most unorthodox WrestleManias ever created. I think leading into this event, though, a lot of people's hopes and excitement for the event was actually dissipated, as it were, because of the actual main event itself. A lot of people were hoping that it was going to be Bray Wyatt heading into the main event of WrestleMania as the Fiend, and perhaps gaining the victory over Roman Reigns, which would essentially be a rivalry renewed. I know that they had Bray and Roman had a very good Hell in a Cell match a few years back, and I think it really would have established the Fiend. Prior to that, a lot of people really believed that the Fiend should have picked up quite a dominant victory over Bill Goldberg, and then that didn't happen, unfortunately, as we know, in Saudi Arabia, when Bill Goldberg gave the Fiend a crushing defeat with a useless jackhammer turned suplex, which I intend to create on the WWE 2K game. I think it's about time we gave him a suplex on that game as opposed to the jackhammer all the time, because that seems to be all that Bill is able to do. Well, at the moment, maybe I'm being a little bit unfair saying that, because it is very hot in Saudi Arabia. But in any event, I think that the fact that the main event was going to be Roman versus Bill Goldberg is a main event that people didn't want to see. A lot of people really felt as if the current roster that work all year round essentially deserve a reward. And once again, it's a part-timer taking that paycheck. He's a draw, but he's only there for one night. But looking at Goldberg, I actually started to think that Goldberg should have been used at last year's WrestleMania in order to end the career of Kurt Angle. I think it's an Attitude Era match that never happened, and I think that it would actually have been an interesting send-off. Now, I do understand that you need to get new talent over, and in this case it was Baron Corbin, but I didn't really feel as if Baron Corbin's victory over Angle really has propelled him anywhere. So it might as well have been a very two alpha males going against each other, high stakes match. So how I would have had this match would have been that I would have had Bill Goldberg come out first. Then I would have had Angle come out, and I would have had Angle had his original gold medals with him. And as he's handing them to the referee, the referee's taking the medals out of the ring, or handing them out of the ring, as it were. Goldberg hits a first spear, and he goes for a cover. He gets a 2 count on Kurt Angle. Goldberg would then proceed to go for a jackhammer, and he lifts Kurt Angle up somewhat, but Angle struggles, he kicks his legs, and he falls back down to his feet. I would then have had Kurt Angle hit Goldberg with 3 German suplexes, stunning him, followed by an Angle slam. Angle gets a 2 count. It is there that Angle would go for the ankle lock, and he would lock it in on Bill. he locked the full grapevine in, and you think, my lord, is Bill going to tap from this? Is Kurt Angle going to get Bill Goldberg to tap out at WrestleMania? To my recollection, Bill Goldberg has never actually tapped out. Is Angle going to do this in his final match, his career-defining match? So his career on the line match, rather. So Bill Goldberg would be struggling in pain, but he'd actually pull over to the ropes, and Angle would then go over to try and get Goldberg with another German suplex. This would be a mistake. Goldberg would then counter. He'd elbow Angle in the head, hit a spear. He then goes for another spear, hits it. He then lifts Angle up for the jackhammer, makes the cover, and ends Kurt Angle's career. But I think that people would be a little bit sceptical of Goldberg winning this and ending the career, because they would think that it deserves to be given to a younger talent. But I think it also makes sense that Goldberg would be able to do it, because Goldberg's prime and Angle's prime were arguably at the same time. It's interesting to know as well that Goldberg started Goldberg entered sports entertainment 3 years, I believe it was, before Kurt Angle. But both of them have always been very dominant champions. You have the former WCW champion, the former WWF, WWE champion, and both of them have been the world heavyweight champion. And I just think that it would be credible for Goldberg to have ended that Angle's career, because he is so explosive, so hard-hitting. And not only that, he took Lesnar out, another classic rival of Angle's, in very quick time at the Survivor Series, and then took him out at the Royal Rumble again, eliminating him. So yes, I would argue that Bill Goldberg should have been the man to have ended Kurt Angle's career. Thanks for listening.